Yes. Morning, everyone. Good morning. Mindful Matters, Jeff, Marek, Chris, DJ Noah, Ryan. Good morning, everybody. Yes, and thank you to all vets. Vets Day today. Let me know you can hear me nice and clear in chat, and we're going to get straight into it. Thanks, Ryan. Yeah, spent the weekend sorting some of this out. So higher time frame charts. Let's actually start over here with the daily. As you can see on the daily, right at that Bollinger. All right, extended through the top Bollinger, come back to the Bollinger. So we move off that Bollinger and we think about narrative for the day. We were talking in chat this morning. I wanted to see a push up and fail. We had that move on ES. NQ just too weak. The Mag 7 really, really weak today, other than Tesla, which is on an absolute tear. And we're starting to fail now through current point of control, through Friday's point of control, now testing into Thursday point of control right here. Okay, so I'm interested here. Do we start to put in a bullish pattern somewhere down here for a rotation back into this big sell candle? Or are we going to start attacking these gaps down here underneath value area low? All right, so no trade yet, just being very, very patient, waiting to see what we do. But so far today, we are without a doubt in a bit of a sell. Okay, so just watching here as we've swept all the key levels from overnight, starting to dig down lower. But yeah, ES today did the move that I was looking for on QQQ or on the NQ, frustratingly. Morning, Exister. So continuation of selling here. Can't be a buyer in this yet. As you can see, we're in this sell signal. I was really looking for a move to 320 this morning off the open. I wanted to clear this out, get short here for the move down. Didn't do it, but the ES did that exact move. So just unfortunate today. Now time trading back down into that high time frame algo. So the next move potentially down to this previous day low, Friday's low. We're coming into some very, very key areas here of volume that we've been trading on. Where was this? Was this Thursday? Yeah, Thursday. So I'd say sort of 60-ish down to 60, 50. If we're going to get weak, we're going to sweep down to 25, 125. That was an under over level for me today. We've failed through the new week opening gap so far on the Qs. ES has a relative strength and a way to go. All right, ES currently trading at 36 or 600 on the SPY. Yeah, so it's trading around that 600 mark, psychological level on the SPY. Morning, Exister. Nice, Ryan. You got that short, lovely move. Morning, Sloth. Morning, Jeff. Morning, Minix. So just watching here, I'm being patient. Nice, Noah, got that sell, good work. Yeah, I was looking for that sell, just didn't quite move up to where I wanted to get involved. I talked about it in Discord. Really wanted that push up into around 320 and just couldn't get it. Started selling early as the Mag 7 started rolling over this morning. And then we had Tesla reject 350. It had 2 or 3 attempts at 350, couldn't get through it. And it's still up 23 points on the day. So a massive gap up on Tesla. So into the high time frame algo here, again, we are near an old point of control. So I'm just waiting to see if and how the market reacts here. If we're going to put in bullish patterns in areas where we have support, I'll think about getting bullish, obviously on a higher time frame. We're coming into these key areas. All right, this is where bulls have shown up before. If we fail under here, we're going to rotate. I'm going to get bullish at least into here, and then I'm going to be aware of this kind of pattern. Yeah, so either bullish pattern into here and start to sell some, or break down under here and rotation, or still liquidity and bullish pattern back up. So that's kind of where we're at right now into a new hourly right here, right now. How does the mic sound, everyone? Because I changed my mic setup a little bit. Is it cleaner than before? Hopefully. Fair trader, volume is not way too low. Volume's okay actually this morning. The only market that's closed is the bond market. The futures market is trading pretty decent volume right now. Okay, Ryan. Yeah, just take a minute to get used to that. But I'm glad you're set up nicely. Yeah, exactly. Good. Yeah, I tried to change the threshold for that so it won't pick them up, because I'm sure that was very frustrating, especially when I'm typing out. Nice, Chris. Good. Good, good, good. You're just going to be aware if this market starts to find bids. But this level here, right here, would be the next target if you're still in this short. I'm not going to join the short now. Missed my opportunity. So now just got to be patient as we trade around that high time frame algo. Yes, thank you to the veterans. Quite right, Abe. All right, so do me a favor, hit that like and subscribe button if you're new here. I'm here Monday to Friday, 10 o'clock Eastern. All the time we're underneath this higher time frame algo, we're going to print higher time frame conditions as bearish. Okay, but make sure you're watching that H1. Little sweep of liquidity there. I want to see now if any buyers start entering the tape here. There's still a buy order sat around 135. You should totally be able to do that, Ryan. If anyone can answer Ryan's question, he's trading with TRADEIFY via TradingView. Says not able to click and drag his stop. I've always been able to do that, so not sure if that's a setting thing, if anyone can answer him. You might have to put on, I'm just thinking out loud, you might have to put on where you place the order, click for a bracket. It might just be that you need to add a bracket onto it, Ryan. So where, if you go into, I can't do it because I don't trade through it, but where you would click buy and sell, just make sure you have that stop loss already entered and profit take already entered, and save that as like a template, and then you should be able to drag it. It should automatically print every single time then. Hanging around this higher time frame algorithm, like I said, possibly trades down to previous day low, but we are sat right at an old point of control here. If we start to fail this point of control, I could see a potential rotation down towards 21 or 21,100. If we start to regain this point of control, maybe we then make that move to 220s. 220s. Morning, Eva. Good morning. So straight selling, some nice profit taking this morning. ES and SPY still not closed their gap. All right, they've got a long way to go to close the gap. QQQ has traded straight through its gap. So lower prices here still in continuation with flow zone. So every single flag so far this morning has been selling off, but just watching in case they do something like this or they start to curl and bid back up into this area. So for me, too late on this short right now. As I always say, I want to see price build this way for me to get short, and currently we're just dripping down. I'm also watching the volume to see if and where buyers come in. Like I said, we're in a key area here on the H1 chart. Yeah, it will allow you to do it for sure, Ryan. It's just figuring out how. It just might be that you've got to put that bracket order in. So some bids starting to show up here. Do we start to get that move back up towards 20s now? There we go. See if they can hold price here for that squeeze back up. If that's going to give an entry model, if we can like push, pull and start to base above. That's the question right now. Potentially still early, haven't shifted yet, but potentially. I'm just watching the ES at the same time. ES is still drifting lower. So we've had divergence all morning today. So ES did that nice drive up at the open to sell into. NQ just rolled straight over, making it much harder to sell into. Now you've got NQ trying to base and ES starting to wash down. Remember, ES still has not closed its cash gap. It has not closed that new week opening gap. All right, SPY can trade all the way down to 98.25-ish. So it might be that it needs to be efficient and do that first. QQQ has already closed that gap like we talked about, well through that gap, dunking right down now. Right, QQQ trading at Friday's lows on the QQQ. Under here, QQQ starts to roll over under that sort of London low from Friday. It has the potential to really rotate all the way back down to Thursday open. So I've got my eye on it just in case it does that. Buyers starting to look like they might want to start showing up soon. It's the first push we've seen. So it depends if they're going to just wash this back down, if this is a pop to sell, or if there's exhaustion now on the tape. So a nice move back through point of control. So I'd be watching a rotation now into 225-ish if it can get going. Remember, flow zone's still in a sell for now. But watching here if there's an early sign of buyers coming back in on the tape. The only thing that has me concerned is ES not closing its gap. Some decent volume came in there. Not huge, but decent. It would need to now hold this pullback into around 75-ish. Any pullback into 75 would need to hold to know that those shorts got trapped towards the low of day for this rotation. Looking very good now. Okay, so I'm going to try and get some of this all the way up to 225 if it will play ball. Obviously watching that psychological number into 200. Definitely some stops there around 200. And on the tape, starting to stack into that area. Yes, with its first 5-minute bar here as well. So the question is this just the bear flag, which they're going to sell into? I'm in this long from here. All right, so any retest of here, I'd want to see this level here hold for a higher move up. If they're going to go straight squeeze mode, it's not going to give me a chance to re-add. Okay, here we go through 200 now, so a little partial into that. And then really watching for this rotation all the way back into the bottom of that gap, about 225. Right, this gray area here and this old point of control right into here would be great. Let me see how we act from there. Lovely. So like we said, break of trend, very simple, around higher time frame algo, looking to reclaim and reprice all the way up into here. Nice strong candle here on the 5-minute from ES as well. So any dips now back down into 75, if they're starting to hold, I'll think about a re-add. Sloth, that volume indicator is Sati's volume. So like I said, you'd need to see sort of around here, 75-ish hold. If it's not going to hold, this is a pop to fail. Like we said, the main trend on the day currently is in a sell, which is why it's taking partial out into 200 where we pop these stops. See these stops here? We pop those stops into the flow zones. So a continuation sell is possible if it fails through 75. So it's just a little counter trend squeeze up. And just waiting now. Bids don't show up here, then good chance we make new leg down. Another 17 minutes or so until we print that initial balance. That's all right, Noah. It's fine. It's actually absolutely fine to do that and wait. I was just taking that little squeeze up. It wasn't a huge trade, like 20, 30 points. Yes, it is. It is. So is this the first lower time frame, higher low on the day? Will be confirmed by a new break of structure to the upside if we're going to do it. So what was the key level we said? Into and around 75, traded into 76. Okay, just very simple in terms of structure. Break, retest, needs to hold and then drive upwards. Needs a break of structure to the upside now to signify that we have a chance to rotate higher. Remember, these are daily levels up here, previous day open and closes, and the deep pullback level right here into around 2020. And you have an old point of control there, and you have the lower side of the new week opening gap. All right, so we're just trading in between higher time frame levels at the moment. Again, the only thing I am thinking about in terms of divergence is this gap on ES and the SPY, which has not been filled. That's the one thing. So we all know on Friday, the ES had relative strength, okay, because they were selling the bonds, they were buying the SPY, the ES, whereas tech didn't really get moving last week. Well, the end of last week, I should say, Friday. It moved loads last week, but on Friday, we were stuck in a range most of the day. Good morning, Tyson. There is a seller all the way now up at 250s. Should be a nice target into and around VWAP if we're going to hold this pivot. There's a lot of sellers stacked just above us into that 120 level. Sorry, 210 level. Or really that retest level was here, so now we have to wait. You have to wait because no stops are here, so it needs to build out here to go, or do something like this to go. But remember, this is a counter trend trade up to these levels. We don't know if it's going to go higher. The main time frame trade currently on the session is in a sell. All right, we're in a bearish condition, so this can still be, if bids don't hold here, this can be a flag for a rotation down to previous day low. So longs currently on this session are counter session trades. Session trade is in a sell right now. Again, we're watching this higher time frame right here. Old point of control. We know buyers stepped in here on Friday. That dip on Friday got soaked. So do the buyers step back in here, or do we start to sell through this, which would open this level here? All right, this imbalance underneath Friday or Thursday value area low, we can really wash all the way down to here. So it's a sensitive level right now. And it's Monday. It is Monday. We've got no weekly range yet. We've got CPI data coming later in the week. We've got Powell talking again later in the week. We've got Nvidia earnings next week. So you might start to see some rotation in and out of chips again. You've obviously got Trump starting to put people into positions. And if those are policy based, that can of course affect the market. So lots of variables still. Yeah, you're not catching a bottom if you play this. Catching the bottom is like buy. If you play this, that's not catching the bottom, set risk. Playing this, pull back in, it's not catching the bottom because it's set risk. Yeah, as long as you're not buying on the way down, if you're buying once we've started to move up, you're not catching the bottom. As long as you are able to define your risk. Yeah, I took this trade here, boom, up here, risking 55s in from sort of 70s, traded up into 200s. So as long as you've got defined risk, you're okay. Again, the thing that's concerning is that ES gap fill potential. That is the one thing that has me thinking, does the market want to be efficient and trade lower first? If it's going to do that, Qs are going to drop into, possibly into that huge H1 imbalance. So I am cautious here. I'm starting to sell Qs. SPY cannot get back through 99s currently. It needs to trade back through 99s for that shot at 600. So potential retest of this area that we talked about, that sensitive area. And if we sell down under here, 120 and then 93s. if it gives a continuation lower. Oh, right, yeah. Yeah, it's just why you have to be very proactive when you're counter trend. Like I always say, you have to be very proactive with your stop. Cannot be moving a stop. You know, if you bought this here and your stop's here, you can't then be like, oh, move it down and move it down and move it down, because you're just opening the gate to get slammed on. We are in a sell so far. Like we said, this was counter trend. They might just sell into it once they sweep this. So now we have to see, do buyers come back in here? Or do they get continuation, break of structure, and a sell down? ES coming to retest its lows. Mag 7 still heavy, other than Goog and Tesla. But Tesla way, way, way off that 350. It was trying to break through this morning, trading at 342 currently. Nvidia down almost 2%, Meta the same, Amazon down almost 1%, Microsoft 0.5%, Apple 1.7%. So we are in profit-taking scenario, which is not really surprising given what the market was able to do last week. Live sub count, that's just how many of you are following the channel right now. So hopefully we can get that moving to 2,000. In the next day, or today would be ideal if none of you are subscribed. Those who aren't subscribed, hit that button now and you'll see that move up. Maybe we'd do some form of sale for few of you if we hit 2,000 or something. Every milestone, maybe I'll do 50% off or something for a couple people. So ES new low date, coming very close to that gap now on ES. It's trying to close its gap. Where was settlement? It's pretty much there. So settlement gap would be to 27. Full closure would be to 25s. And it traded a low of 28. So it got very, very close there on the ES. Maybe that's enough. Maybe that's enough. Let's see. See if market's going to get going now. Lovely. Look at that soak up on ES off that attempt of the closure of the gap. So maybe now we can get going. If it's going to be efficient and that's all it needed to do, would be very nice. Here we go. So potential flag playing out here on the curl. We held that imbalance down to 70. And now we're going to see if we can get that rotation. So I'm long on this. Once I saw ES basically close that gap, I kept saying if the market's going to be efficient, ES might want to close that gap. Beautiful. Now I want to see ES now trade over 35s and then over 37, and that will give me confidence to hold this long and potentially add into it. I need to see NQ trade back over 200, then 206, then let's just call it 220. If it's not going to do that, it might need to build out some more liquidity. Very, very nice. Need to get through 200 now. Through 200, we can really target 250. I think there's a seller on the book all the way up there. Very, very good. So the plan working out. That key was the market being efficient on ES. That cash gap was absolutely vital. So it needs to see dips into 83 hold here. Ideally, it just doesn't even need to dip. Ideally, you get this move for a breakout. Any failure here, and I'll be risk off in case it rotates. All right, so I'm being very dynamic today. because I know this is counter trend on the lower time frame for now. Need to see some buyers start coming into tech. Microsoft can go green. It's not too far away. That would help. Are they done at taking profit? That's the big question. We are up huge on that weekly candle from last week. So it really depends if and when they're done taking profit right now. But ES looking strong. SPY at that 599 level. Needs to trade straight through this now. Same level still key down here. 72s and 85s. Want to be careful if this is a 2-try with failure. It didn't sweep. So building range out here basically in this box. And we have 2.5 minutes till the initial balance as well. Still looking pretty good here. Never got down towards those 70s, held into that 83s. Question is, can it turn the squeeze on now for an extension up? Yes, looking pretty strong. 1 minute left on a 5-minute bar, and that would be the IB set as well. They're starting to build liquidity here. All right, higher low, higher low, higher low. It needs to get the higher high for a potential squeeze up. Otherwise, have to be aware of all the stops. We're starting to flip flow zones here as well. Yes, keeps finding sellers around that 35, which is sort of around the 99 level on the SPY, on the spiders. More sellers came in again there on ES. So it's trying to build a base out, but unsuccessful to pop anything notable yet. Again, I'm just in this with a runner still. It hasn't stopped out my runner yet. Can I get rid of that? I'm aggressive with stops and I'm aggressive with taking profit when we are counter trend. We're not counter trend on daily, but on the session we are. If you look at the H1, we are counter trend until proves otherwise. Like I said, I'm looking for a trade up to sort of 220, 230 and through there 250. Okay, it's just based on the H1. All right, can we get to this old point of control? Can we trade through this old value area, this new week opening gap, and then VWAP? That's what I'm looking for on that counter trend trade. Still holding this long, looking pretty good. So I want to see a break of structure and a bid and hold above 200, 206, 207, and 220s. Initial balance now set. Okay, we're now into initial balance. IB low at the low of day currently. There's the beautiful squeeze up. So this is looking better now. So can we go straight through 220? And do we get a rotation now? So into these levels here, 218, 220, these are daily levels, deep pullback levels. I want to see us just squeeze straight through that. Need ES to get going to help. Really want to see them protect 200 here. Very nice. So far playing out exactly how we thought. If you've got a lot on the table here, make sure you're taking partials into these deep pullback and these daily levels. We expect sellers to come in here. Again, ES and SPY not through the key levels yet. ES has not got through that 35, 36 level and got a close above it. Keeps selling into the same level over and over again. We have swept the first level of liquidity here. Remember, this is a counter trend trade until it proves otherwise. Please respect it. Lovely. So held that 200. We said we want to see it hold 200. It's got to trade through 220, 218, 220 now. Lovely. There we go. So really nice trade here now. Paying really well. So want to just see it keep going. I'm just going to trail this up now. Really nice into that 220 pop through. That was the stop hunt we were looking for into the daily levels, into 225s and 230s. If it fails here, we get a bigger rotation back down into 200s. If it continues to squeeze, we can target into VWAP. Looking really, really good here. So trimmed most of my position now. How many of you caught some of that with me? So I was long here, long again on dips, and then selling into extensions into these levels. Can always re-add. Hopefully some of you are in it still, holding. Lovely. Good work, Tyson. Good work, DJ. Trailing one. Yeah, beautiful. Looking good. Looking really good into these levels. If we really start to turn here, then we might put a bigger squeeze on the day. If enough shorts came in, okay, against under here, under here, under here, under here, they can get really hurt for that move back up. But I'm being cautious just based on H1. Just based on H1. All right, we traded from POC to POC, from demand to gap, sorry. Volume gets a bit thinner through this 230s, then we can really come and attack maybe the underside, 270 or something. Looking good. Looking very, very good. Every dip now holding. Beautiful. There we go, ES. That was the key move there, through 35s. All right, through those 35s. So I'm watching the SPY on ES. The SPY, the VWAP on ES and the SPY here. So we're getting very close to it. So into sensitive areas now across the market, okay, across the market, we're trading back into new week opening gap. We're trading back into Friday's point of control here on the Qs. We're trading back in towards VWAP. Here's the squeeze up, really nice. Be protective and proactive with your stops here, please. Be protective and proactive with stops. Trade back into VWAP would be really, really nice. What a beautiful move. Yes, VWAP. QQQ and SPY also at VWAP, but NQ not there yet. Okay, so New York session VWAP would have been hit now, I would assume, if the QQQ is there. Like I said, there's a seller on the book up at 250, right? 100 lot up there. Nice, lots of you got it. Marek's still in it. Chris got it. Ryan got it. Minix got it. Cap got it. DJ got it. Tyson got it. Still trailing. Really nice. Love to see you guys winning. Makes me happy. We're starting to get a roll on these flow zones now, going into bullish signals. So really, you just want to see all dips hold all day for a reprice higher to that IB high. That would be really nice. But we're probably into about midpoint of this initial balance as well. Yeah, just throw it. So cautionary here for new longs. It's a pretty good squeeze out there. I know it's not the biggest move, but we got from 170 and then again from 80s up to 30s. So 50 and 40 points on each of those if you were holding. Yes, really starting to motor now. Straight through VWAP. So I'd say that 600 level on the SPY is going to be key. All right, today it can't get a close over 600. It's been selling over 600 on the SPY. It's probably the options chain. There you go, break even trade or BE trade, 25 plus points. Not bad. That's all right, DJ, don't worry. Don't worry. Base hits on Apex is absolutely fine. Nothing wrong with doing that. Still squeezing. Definitely caught those shorts off guard at the lows. Remember, the ultimate time frame, the daily time frame, is in a bullish move. So we were just looking for areas where we thought we might be interested in buying today. And that was really off the H1. The importance of using the H1. How easy was it to see this level right here? Point of control. All right, and we came back and retested point of control down here. We have an old bullish signals down here where buyer stepped in Friday. Point of control here, volume here, back test of this, do buyer show up, wait for bullish signal, take the trade back into gaps, back into old shelves, back into point of controls on overnight sessions. Super, super simple. You just have to wait for it to come into the areas of interest. Don't chase the market up or chase it down. Once you get there, look for the pattern. That's good, Tyson. And keep holding that runner. There's no reason to get out yet. There's no reason to get out yet. Tap into VWAP here. Like I said, what I am definitely looking at is this 600 level on SPY. We just traded up to 599.97 and starting to sell into it. It cannot get a close above 600 in the New York trading session today. So I would guess there is a big options wall up there currently. And that 600 level basically works out as the VWAP session here on NQ, the VWAP on NQ currently. Nice, Tyson, 10 points. Good stuff. The seller at 250, they're starting to add more liquidity above 250 now. 255, 260, 270s. All right, it's much smaller lots, but the big seller, that 100 lot seller, he's bang on 250 there. All right, that is basically 600 on SPY. If you want to put that into ES, that's probably, I don't know, 6,044, 6,045, somewhere around there. All right, so if this was a squeeze out there, sell this back down, and then we need to see if we can base out based on structure. What's the structure? This was structure, so maybe a back test into here, maybe it doesn't go so low, and see if we continue. If we're going to fail, all right, we can think about shorts back down here for a retest of IB low. But even if that's the only trade I get, there you go. Look at that absolute smash on the ES when it approached that level. Look at SPY, 599.98, and it got slammed. Absolutely slammed up there. There's definitely a wall up there. I was calling it this morning. So it's why you have to be careful. Right? You have to be conscious of your stop, making sure you move some in. Dharma, the only market closed today on this bank holiday is bonds. All right, the rest of the market is open. And everyone keeps saying this is low volume, it's this, it's not. The market is open and ready for business. Bonds are the only thing closed. Everything else is open. Stocks are open. VIX is open. Crypto's open. FX is open. Futures are open. So anyone that's telling you it's low volume and it's bank holiday, they don't know what they're talking about. It is a bank holiday, but the banks are open. All right, it's just a term basically. The only thing closed are the bonds. Right, they're the only thing closed today. So everything is open. Like Tesla was up almost 30 points today. It's now 25 points up. But look at that move on ES. I can show you, or on the SPY even better, you'll see what I was talking about, that 600 mark. Right? We have sold into 600 all day. We cannot get through 600. So I think we probably have had the best trade of the day here, the low-hanging fruit trade. Back to reprice some of those H1 and weekly levels. And we probably got the trade of the day. So looking either now, like I said, either for dips back into these areas, into 200, or if they're going to start to fail, if it does a lower high and drops down back into here, we can think about using this liquidity, breaking down for continuation for retest of initial balance. So far for me, this is a session pullback. We know buyers stepped in here earlier today. We know they've stepped in here on their H1 previously as well on Friday morning. Do I have a system to buy, Angel? Well, it's right here, isn't it? There's your buy signal. There's your sell signal. There's another sell signal. There's a buy signal, right? This is my flow zone system. This comes free when you get the course, right? All my students get this for free when they do the course. Course shouldn't be for sale, but I forgot to take it off sale. So if you're lucky, you can grab it right now for $399. The link is in the comments below. So you get a 20-hour course, you get this indicator, another indicator, and access to the Discord. Win rate for me or win rate for this? Win rate for me shoots about 73%. Win rate for this currently on the last year, you'll have to check with the guys in the room, but it's shooting about 85% at the moment. It also works on swings. It works on any market. So ES back to the level. Basically a dollar slam on the SPY, which is equivalent to 10 points on the ES. Like I said, this is the area that we broke out from earlier, right? Here's your flag, breakout, retest, dip buys, breakout, go, back test. So now is key. Do buyers step back in here, or have they had enough? And do we get reprice, lower, reprice, lower? Really that simple. We know we're in range rotation for now. Why are we in range rotation? Because we're playing between IB high, IB low. We're also inside of Friday's range. Okay, never forget, make sure you're checking high time frame charts. Where are we? We are inside Friday's range and Thursdays. Right, so we're basing inside here. Right, so inside days we expect rotations. Tyson, go to the end. If you go to the end of the course, there's an email there. Just shoot me an email and we'll get you added, mate. I normally do it because what happens is if no one's traded before and hasn't traded the system and they come into Discord before they finish doing the course, they come in Discord and they don't understand anything being said. And it becomes harder and harder for them. It feels like too complex. Whereas if they do the course, finish the course, get the certificate, and then get the Discord, when they come into the room, they understand what we're all talking about. Angel, I've been trading with this system and refining it for like the last 5 or 6 years. Bitcoin approaching 84,000 now. Beautiful breakout on that daily flag. You just got to trade it off fibs now. So Bitcoin actually, once it hit 80,000, completed its measured move. And now you're looking for extensions on flags. So key area here, like we talked about, do buyers come back in on the tape here? Right, is this the level here? Right, here. Really simple structure. What's your structure? Back test. Do buyers come back in? If they do, where do we get to? Do they slam this, or are we going to assume continuation? So structure over everything. This can still be a big old bear flag building out as well. All right, this can be. This can be. All right, it can even be all this all day, and then tomorrow use it. Maybe we put in a Tuesday low of week, a Wednesday failure, and a return back inside, depending on that CPI and inflation data coming Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Sloth, yeah, I can do one-on-one sessions. If you go to my website, hit me up, let me know what you're looking for. We can sort something out. Normally, to be honest, I'm pretty good with the guys that do the coursing in the Discord and try and help them as much as I can. But if there's some specific tutoring you want, just let me know. So we're getting stuck here at this deep pullback. We're getting stuck at these previous day open closes right here. So far, it is starting to look like this first bounce into here will be sold into. This is what we're talking about. If it's going to use this liquidity, if it's still a big if, you would attack IB low, previous day low. I wouldn't normally really necessarily think about this move, but the fact that ES got absolutely obliterated on that reapproach on that SPY 600 level is interesting. It's trading under VWAP. Everything currently on the sessions is trading under VWAP. Yeah, that might be all we get today. We'll have to see. I honestly think we got the best trade of the day. I really wanted that short. It's frustrating to me when I'm sat there waiting for the short and that you get a divergence where the ES does it and the NQ doesn't. I talked about it in Discord before we opened. I really wanted this level here, these stops, to get swept. So at the open, I wanted to see us push up here, get slammed, and this move down. And that's exactly what the ES did. Did it perfectly. But at least we got something. Sloth, I don't know when you wrote that. If that move occurs, would it be the liquidity run? Which move, my friend? Sorry, I probably am slow to see the chat today. I've got one new screen here, so I'm getting used to where everything is. Which move? Do you mean the move lower? Yes, right at VWAP. The move down, do you mean this one? I'd say this, I would call this building liquidity and this a search for liquidity. Searching for where buyers are searching to get stops trapped in. It's still holding this level here, which is pretty good. ES still not showing me. Well, it is 3 VWAP. I don't know. It's very tight here. Very, very tight here. Structure's still bullish. Right, like we talked about, structure is still bullish. Retest. So you have to expect higher prices if you're sticking with trend, but the low-hanging fruit is definitely gone. So the next move really is you would need to get through VWAP, reprice new week opening gap, which we almost did already, and then trade up to point of control up to, which is overnight, 295. So basically initial balance high. If it's going to rotate. I'm just worried about this area here where we put this big volume candle in right here. So for me, if I was going to fib this out from here to here, if it's going to get stuck in this golden zone of current leg, like it's just tapping into, if it's going to get stuck here for continuation lower, I'd be concerned. If I had short bias on the day, I'd be thinking about a short here right now. Break of structure, I'm going to wait. And then that. But it is tricky. The main reason I'm just like thinking this might happen, it's just seeing the continued selling on the SPY more than anything. Yeah. Yeah, it might keep going down, Sloth. Like, this level here was so key this morning. I was looking for bullish price here, point of control, Friday buyers. Right, so I was looking for this. If we fail here and get underneath this, what does the structure look like looking left? There's nothing. There's nothing here, is there? Once we get underneath this, there's nothing here until all the way down here. So a sell all the way back down towards 20,950 is possible. I don't think we get that today. Could be wrong. But if today is about building liquidity up and tomorrow is about using the liquidity to break down, we could potentially get it. So lower time frame structure still holding on the day, like we talked about. This possible if it's going to do it. SPY trying one more time. Okay, 59975 now. It needs to get through 600. Through 600, 617. All right, so that opening print this morning, 600 to 617 got slammed the first 10 minutes. And then every approach back up there has been sold into. So you can really, you can probably use VWAP as your sort of measurement. It's this level here. This is where sellers are on the ES. Weekend was good, thanks 60 hour. Weekend was good. What did I do? Saturday, I went for a big gym session with my buddy. And then I went over to Palos Verdes with my wife and my dog. We went for a walk on the bluffs, overlooking the ocean. Went and got some lunch. Came back, and then yesterday, again, got up and went to the gym. What did we do? I went out for dinner last night with some friends. Yeah, just a super relaxed weekend. Watched some films. Got up to date with, I can't think what it's called. What's that Stallone series on Paramount? I'm up to date with that. Watched the new episodes. Quite like that. Such an easy watch. Very predictable, but such an easy watch in the background. Tulsa King, that's the one. Tulsa King. Okay, reapproach here. 599.83. So they're looking to squeeze this out on the SPY and ES. All right, so dips held, the same level, dips held. So if you took that, you've done very nicely. You'd want to see more dips hold into 220 to 215 now. It needs to build this base out here. So range needs to build this out if it's going to do it, if it can't just squeeze instantly. If you can get through this and it does this move, you have potential for a move to IB high. But so far, just think about what we're doing in terms of range rotation. IB low, VWAP. So that's what I was saying, the low-hanging fruit trade, this trade here that we always talk about, is been and gone. The easiest trade on the day is probably been and gone, at least on the session for now. So again, sellers into and around that 600 level on the SPY. Definite battle zone. I haven't touched it since those first few trades this morning that we took together. Maybe should have taken that long there, maybe. As you can see, they're selling straight back into it. So you'd want to see dips hold in and around these areas coming up right now. If they don't do that, if they've trapped enough balls on that last move up and they start selling, they can use their internal liquidity to come back lower. But you just want to see dips hold right here into deep pullback, into flow zones, in all these areas for the rotation higher. You'll be careful of if this is a lower high and they break this pivot. Currently, your pivots are basically this. This made this, and this is inside of this. So this is liquidity build zone for either up or down. Not one new subscriber on this stream. Come on, guys, do me a favor. Help me out here. Giving you some nice plays today. How can people like ICT have millions of followers and call Bitcoin to zero? Come on, team, help me out. No, don't do that, Exister. Don't do that. So dips holding again so far. Do they turn this back on now? Do they turn this back on and try and pop these highs? Is this going to be a little cup, miniature cup and handle kind of thing? Yes, looking pretty good here. SPY, right? 99.90 now, 10 more cents. It's got to pop 600. It's got to go and clear out those 600. $93, still can't get through it. Selling it again. So there's definite wall there. There is a definite wall there. Might have a reattempt here again soon. So highs of 99.95 on that last candle up. So a double top left up there now, which is interesting. You'll be careful in this liquidity zone. Do they build a lower high, create a lower low, or are they going to just keep soaking and attempting to build a new channel out, right, for ES to basically come and take 600, or ES or SPY to take that 600? I would guess they'd want to pop 95, and they might use 95 to 99.95 to clear out 600 on the SPY, which should get ES back up towards 45. Cannot do it. Cannot get up there. Look at the selling coming in on ES. Left that double top there on ES now at 43.50, same as on the SPY. So it hasn't built enough liquidity yet, it seems. I'm not watching the tape on ES or SPY. If anyone's looking at the options market, let me know what those that call wall is at 600. It must be significant. Or the put wall, sorry. You're gonna have another attempt here. Once it gets through that, it might really do a nasty stop run. I don't know. I don't know what's up there. Such strong selling up there right now. Back to VWAP now on the SPY. So like I said, this is the liquidity building zone. We know that this is here. Someone is blowing up my phone. Please stop. more selling. And nothing to do here until it makes a decision. That seller at 250 is now lifted as well. So I wonder if he just joined the tape there. He's no longer there on the cues. He's just lifted it. So I wonder if he's starting to sell here, getting frustrated. Very balanced here. No, I'm not looking for a sell. Not right now. I think there's too much liquidity on ES to the upside right now to be looking for a sell. So I'm interested if it builds it, pops everything first, then maybe. Good soak there on ES again. It's built a lot of stops up around 6,043. So my feeling is it's going to use those. That will be the 600 move on the SPY, and then that will move it into the IB high on a day. But who knows? Like I said, the low-hanging fruit trade has gone. We got it already. $650 seller now back, just under 650, and he split it into two orders, it looks like. Building out sort of a little bit of a wedge here. That's right here. Like we talked about, liquidity is being built between these levels. Tesla through that 350. Wow, I only just see that now. What a move, man. What a move. Insane. Bitcoin right through 84,000, almost 84,700, almost 85,000 now. Won't take it long to get up there. Yeah, nice, Aaron. It's really nice move. That daily flag breakout we talked about 2, 3, 4 weeks ago that has been building over months. I was short on it a while ago, months ago, for that break to the underside into 50 and covered into that. And it's been long ever since. Tesla's just on an absolute tear. It's got bears absolutely stuck. Yeah, I'm sure all the Bitcoin miners are going really nice today. Mara coin, all those things. I can't remember the old, the other miners. I used to trade them a lot, but I can't think what they are. So more failures here on ES. So it's just still stuck building liquidity. There's literally, I'm not going to trade this in this range. I just don't want to become liquidity. It might be that it becomes a short and rolls down, but it can just keep trapping here, maybe sweep and go. I really don't know. I do not know. And when I don't know, I don't want to trade. Riot, yeah, that was it. Riot and Mara. Yeah, thanks, Aaron. I had to buy some new softbox lights and stuff like that. Spent the weekend sorting it out. Had to up my game for you guys, didn't I? To make it a bit better. I only started streaming, what, 8 weeks ago? Still all very new to me. Still all new to me. It's fancy. It looks fancy. Thanks very much. Thank you very much. Yeah, it looks better than it did. Definitely looks better than it did. So thanks for the feedback. Don't do that, 60-hour trader. They're gonna hate me. They're gonna think it's me doing bots or something. So just inside initial balance, range has really started to tighten up on the session as we start to come up into lunch. Like I said, the low hanging fruit trade for me had gone. All right, it was really easy. We were looking for a test of this area here. We were looking for something bullish on the lower time frame for a trade back into this gray box. This gray box is the new week opening gap, and it's where we had resistance last week. So that was the trade for me. That's sort of been and gone. And unless we're going to get a really clean move and continuation, what I don't want to do is get trapped in liquidity while it builds. There's no news drivers today. You've got a really split Mag 7. You've got Tesla up 10%, Google up 0.75%, and everything else red on the day. Foster Scott, what's up, my buddy? How was your weekend? Yeah, all change here on stream. Thank you, mate. Yeah, thank you, mate. Hopefully it looks a bit better. Keltner channels. Yeah, I like Keltner channels. I would just say be careful what time frame you use them on. But I like Keltner channels. If you're going to use those, yeah, you can use Keltner channels, ball bands, things like TTM squeeze, which include Keltner channels inside momentum to let you know when the market's probably on the way to do that mean reversion squeeze type trade. I don't trade pure mean reversions, but if that's your setup and it's what you like, then by all means use them. You had a great weekend. Good, good. Did you do anything fun or anything different? Mine was pretty boring, I'm going to be honest. I spent most of my weekend setting this up. And a few dog walks and some lunches and dinners out. Ichimoku cloud. I haven't. I know what it is, the momentum cloud, which trades with you upside and downside. I haven't used it. I think there's some strategies where you can use those with Heikinatchi for momentum based. Picking up the leaves and training. It was a really nice weekend here in Los Angeles, I must say. Not a cloud in the sky all weekend. It's starting to get a bit cooler at night, which is nice actually. So it's like shorts and t-shirts in the day and then actually get to wear a jacket at night. My study shows me one more push up to 22,000 and then a large sell-off. Well, if that's what yours shows you, then you can play that. That's quite a long way. Another 1,000 points up. We're going to have to cool down a little bit before we do that to let the 5-day moving average and the Bollinger Bands catch up. And we're going to have to need some very, very good prints on data to do that. Oh, nice, Aaron. Yeah. Yeah, really nice in the South Cut. There's no waves here at the moment, though. It was so still. I drove all the way down to Palos Verdes at the weekend, and it was so still. Beautiful, but there's no surf. Too cold now, anyway. I've become soft. Me and my wife both saying we could never go and surf in Europe now. We're so used to summer surfing here. Where am I from? Well, originally, for Scott, I'm from, well, Sussex in England, but I lived in London for 25 years of my life, probably. Where am I at? Oh, Playa Vista, between like Manhattan Beach and Santa Monica, Venice. Like right by the beach, like 5 minutes from the beach. So new attempt at a squeeze up. Watford, yeah, I went to university in Brunel. I know Watford well. Too many years spent in Oceania as a youth. I used to go out in Rickmansworth and Chorleywood back in the day, scouting for tail. Good times. A long time ago now. So dips are still holding here. We're still in between the liquidity zone. Remember I said it's going to build liquidity between here. Now it's between here. Tighter, 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 and eventually explosion, explosion. Something will give. Something will give. Tesla's so strong. Now trading at 355. Insane. Yes, Scott, yeah. I was long this morning. Here, here, here. All right, this for the counter trend. That was the long this morning. Based off higher time frame, old point of control right here. Friday where we had dip buyers. And when we got down here, the SPY and ES filled its gap. So once we got here, we were looking for a lower time frame bullish structure, trade back inside to this point of control and the new week opening gap. So that's it so far. We talked about potentially getting long here, right, when we think about structure. And the only thing that was concerning me was the ES. So the SPY clearly has an option wall at 600. So every time SPY is coming to 600, which on the ES is the equivalent of sort of 42, it's getting absolutely hammered. And the Mag 7 is all red other than Tesla, which is up huge, 10%, and Google, which is up 0.75%. So everything else is red. Snooker, I mean, it started drying up a bit, but it's still pretty good volume. Pretty good volume, nothing to worry about. Glenn Paris, hello. Plenty of liquidity still on the book to get filled, I would say, Snooker. A big divergence here between the ES and the Qs here. Qs look like they really want to make that run higher, don't they? Go and attack that liquidity at 37 and 44. But we're in these previous day open and close range right now. The two dotted white lines on your chart, previous day open, previous day close from Friday. Sensitive area. We're also tapping into the new week opening gap. The gap between Friday's close and Sunday open. Yes, there is a section where I go over like daily routine and tying it all together. But sometimes it can take a couple, reads to go through and do it a few times. Maybe some other guys in the room can advise which chapter, once they finished it, really helped them glue it together. It's probably just time and repetition. A nice drive up here on the Q, searching for that liquidity. It's trading at the underside of its new week opening gap. So basically right at Friday's close right now. That seller keeps coming on and off the book at 250. Big buyer down at 137. 200 lot down there. Almost 300 actually, when it's scattered around it. All right, bear with me, team. I will be right back. Sorry guys, needed another coffee. Caffeine hit. All right, so selling back down again here. So again, same levels on ES and SPY have been what's keeping us heavy, and tech, all markets selling down here again, other than Google and Tesla, which are now trading at 56. So it's about 15-point trade off the lows, I think, on Tesla today. It tested 350, dropped down to about 40, 41, 42s. An absolute tear back upside. I'll stick with you here a little bit longer. Not expecting much. Wasn't expecting much today on a Monday anyway. But again, where are we trading into right now? We're just trading into the area where we found buyers this morning. Okay, if we start to break down under this, maybe we get a rotation to IB low. Underneath IB low, you have previous day low down here, and then we can think about the higher time frame levels. Yeah, because if we start breaking underneath 22, we're going to trade to 21,100 down here, which is basically an old volume area low. We can mark this in. It's about here. All right, value area low here. And if we let go of that, we have a huge move. All right, back down towards 950s. So underneath here, it gets real thin down to here, which is 5 days. So what would that be? Mean reversion trade. Where would we see that? If we go to dailies, mean reversion trade would be from Bollinger 5 day. Remember this level here, imbalance. So by tomorrow, 5 day would be here. Maybe we find bids. Maybe we fake breakout and trade upside. I don't know. We'll see what we get. We're just in that liquidity build like we talked about. And the range is pretty small, about 40 points in this tightening range. We do need to close the gap fully on the SPY. It got very, very close, all right, on the SPY, but it didn't actually close it. So the closing price would be 598.24, 25 would be the gap close, and we traded down to 598.50 on the ES. Closing gap would be down to basically 25, 6,025, but the 4 o'clock print, I'm just going to double check this. Where's 4? About the same actually, 25, yeah. So we didn't quite close it. We got close. So if we wash the IBL, there is a chance to close that gap down to 25 on the ES, right? If it starts to wash the IBL, there is a chance for an expansion down into a full gap close for the market to be fully efficient. It doesn't have to do that. I'm just saying what the draws on liquidity might be. We've already closed, obviously the gap on NQ was just to here. So it's a very, very different market, and we're rejecting, basically on NQ, we are rejecting the bottom side of this gap, right? So the gap was from the open today up here, right? This is the gap, the cash gap on the Qs, and we cannot trade back inside that gap. We keep rejecting, keep rejecting. So if we're going to continue to reject, then IBL and previous day low might be the target. Like we said, called it a long time ago on the session. If it starts to break underneath these levels where these buyers came in and they become sellers, then you get that rotation. But I'm just expecting, it's a Monday, I was expecting some profit taking to happen this morning, which we got. And then I was expecting the market to sort of start to trade sideways and build liquidity. The reason I'm thinking it needs to build liquidity is really just based on the hourly and the daily. The daily is starting to base out on its Bollinger Band. So on the Thursday last week, we had a move above 2 sigma, which is very rare. And we closed high above 2 sigma. On Friday, the low of day on Friday was the Bollinger Band. And then we closed still slightly above the Bollinger Band, but not much. And then today we are going to, if we're going to close here, we're going to close back inside that Bollinger Band. So we expanded outside of it for 2 days, letting the 5-day moving average catch up. So it sets up trades like mean reversion trades, low of week trades early in the week. And let's have a look at what we have coming later in the week. There is lots of news on the way this week. It's a big week. So tomorrow, Fed speakers, I don't really care about them. I know they're going to just talk crap all day, but Wednesday's the big one. All right, CPI, that's going to matter. Followed by Fed speakers. Oh, I hate it when they do this. 9:30, Fed speaker at the open and Fed speaker at 9:45. I mean, it's just so stupid. Get them done early and then later in the day. So might make Wednesday a little bit choppy. Thursday, Fed speakers at 7 a.m., then jobless claims, and then PPI, and then Powell at 3. So big moves coming Wednesday, Thursday, I would say. And then Friday, retail sales. So setting up for a good weekly model type week, I would say. If we create range today, expand range tomorrow, then we have either continuation or failed breakout Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, which will give us some nice range to trade on the week, given that we're up 1,200 points from last week. Morning, Wisdom Lover. I've got a feeling that's going to be it for me. I'm going to have to probably not to get anything else unless it becomes very, very clear here. We are starting to make lower highs, right? Pivot, lower high, lower high, lower high. But this is the area that made this high, and this is why I'm just cautious here, because I know buyers have been here all day. And until they're done buying, until they go, yeah, we want to become pop sellers, anything in here could just be a trap to be soaked. And that's the only reason I'm cautious here. The divergence and the draw lower is, like I talked about, would be ES if it wants to do a full gap fill. Sorry, guys, my phone has been absolutely popping off this morning. I don't know why. There's nothing of importance here other than my wife, who's being very kind, saying that breakfast is out for me and stuff. But yeah, I just don't know why everyone wants to get in touch on a Monday morning. What I find amazing is, like, my friends know when I work and when I trade, but they blow up my phone at the same time. It's just like, it's nuts. And by the way, for me, it's only 8:30 a.m. So they've started texting me for the last 90 minutes. Like, you know, when I work, you have all day to call me after 9 a.m. my time. Why do you need to call me first thing in the morning? I shouldn't complain. It's not. It's nice that people want to get in touch. I shouldn't complain, should I? So a soak again. This is the danger right now. It's what I was talking about. The buyers came in here earlier. We know they came in here. Don't love that double bottom left there. think that's saying, hey, come get me at some point. Doesn't need to be now. Same as here. So we're trading back to this liquidity, imbalance here, trade through this. Could this be this? Yeah, it could. It could be that. But for this to happen, again, I'm going to keep saying it. 600 on SPY is key. It is clearly key today. I know I normally don't look at it so much, but you can just see the amount of times we've approached 600 on SPY and been absolutely dunked on. So we're trading at 599.44s right at the SPY ES. Okay, God, SPY and ES VWAP. Come on, Alex. Get it together, Alex. Get it together. It's Monday morning. Get it together. So slow day here. Sorry, team. But at least we got that long, eh? There hasn't been much else. You could scalp the range, I guess. This is the range. And I'd be trying to bullish scalp this until it proves otherwise. My feeling was today was a pullback day. Tesla coming way back now. NQ only goes up. Yeah, I mean, the markets are built to only go up, right? And my feeling is we are in a euphoric market. I kept saying it last week. So again, pop sellers coming in. This is all about ES right now and where it is. So my feeling is with a market, you would have seen diagrams like this, like accumulation kind of move, and phase one and phase two, and then you get that euphoric moment, right? And we are currently in this like euphoric giant squeeze out. How do I do this? Right, and my feeling is retail will start joining in here, thinking, oh, it's going to the moon, it's going to the moon, and then we'll do this, and then something like that, a mean reversion, and then find some bids, because like we said, the market is built to go up. It is built to go up, but it needs a healthy pullback. Now, it doesn't need to do a pullback that big if it allows the 5-day to catch up. All right, I would say if it allows this 5-day, I don't want to see it vertical like it is now, but if it starts to sort of go sideways and grind with the Bollinger like this, we can do moves like this. And I'll show you what I mean. Let's find a nice time when the market's been very, very bullish for a long period of time. Okay, here's a good example. Make sure I'm on the right chart. Yeah, so see how the 5-day gives us a nice curl off the 20-day, and the market just bounces between top bull 5-day, top bull 5-day, top bull 5-day. All right, we can do something like this into end of year Santa rally. Could easily do that. But we're gonna have to see. Like, this is a giant move. Let's not forget that. That is a giant move. Maybe a retest of some old levels. Are we there yet? Let's just mark these out. Maybe a retest of some of these. So really here, you'd need to see buyers step in somewhere around here, maybe earlier. What you wouldn't want to see is this. You see this, this is expanding. This is where this can be blow off top type scenario. I know it's probably so frustrating thinking, why is he flipping between it can do this and it can do this? Because the market can always do two things. So I try to come to the market without being too biased. I try not to be too biased with the market. I'll have a theory, but I need to know when that theory is no longer working. So my theory today, like we talked about, I was looking for the short into 320. I wanted these stops to get run. I wanted the market to pop into 320 and fail, and we didn't get it. ES did that exact move, and Qs didn't. So once we'd done that fail, filled the gap, and got down here, I was saying, look at this channel, be careful for shorts, being trapped at the low, and we jumped in here, didn't we? Squeeze up, retest, we called this level here into 70s, held, beautiful flag, and go. That's been the easiest trade so far if you didn't get the short like me. Now we just wait. And probably we wait and walk away because, you know, 16, 17 minutes till the day is done. Kid Poker, you need a dump today. All right, so you're short on the market, are you? You're short on NQ because you were saying it only goes up. So where are you short from? And what do you need? And also, don't be blowing up, like, because you need it to do something. You know, if you are in a hole already, you're short from 177. Ouch. Right? Big ouch. This here was where I was getting long. I'm not saying that to piss you off or anything like that, but ask yourself, why are you not out already? What's your risk? Or are you swing short and you've got, if you've got a plan and you've got a set risk, that's absolutely fine. I'm not here to criticize you. If you have some form of system that you're playing for a much deeper play and you're risking up here for some reason, that's okay. But if you're just stuck in this trade right now and you're just being belligerent and you've moved your stop, just be cautious. That's all I'm saying. Only taking, there you go. So you're trading very small size so you can have wider stops. Okay, that's all right. But just, you know, when the trade fails based on whatever your parameters are, just make sure you take it off. Because for me, this was where I got long. This was where I got long. We talked about it on stream. How many of you on stream got the longs with me? There was quite a few of you. Drop a W if you took any of these longs with me for profit today. I think a few guys have come in here a little bit late. There you go. Quite a few of us got these longs. Just drop a W if you took it and still on stream. There you go. No PM session ever, Glenn. I often trade PM if I don't like the morning session, or if there's a reason to trade PM. But I've never traded it on stream. I trade it in the Discord room, so I'll be calling what I'm looking for in Discord. But I'll be honest with you, like, I find the stream can be it can take a lot out of me because there's constant narration while analyzing price. And because I try and teach while I go, rather than just trade my system, rip my shirt open, tell you what an alpha I am and how much money I've made, because I try and teach, it actually takes quite a lot out of me. So I probably can't do that, you know, for 5-6 hours a day. I think it would just eventually start eating into my ability to help you guys and my own profits. No, it's not Wisdom Lover. Come on, let's not use names. Just found my channel, Kid Poker. Thanks for joining. Hit that like and subscribe button. Hit every single day. Hopefully it can help you. Yeah, I always assume volume starts dripping off into lunch. That's not always the case. Sometimes there's a catalyst, but you even look at today. All right, this is just a normal day. Surge at 9:30, surge down here on this sell, big sell, and then we've just tapered off slowly on the volume. Volume will pick up if there's a reason for volume to pick up. But like we are, as we've talked about, we are trading inside. Currently, we are trading inside Friday's range, and that is inside Thursday's range. If you look at the New York Open, we are inside both of those. Ignore overnight. And then on the day, we are trading inside IB low and IB high up here. Don't know why I can't draw that. IB high. So we're trading in a liquidity building stage, right? And the easy trade today, those who have done the course, who joined my stream, the easy trade today was the IB low to VWAP, high probability trade, and we got it. So since then, I've just said it's going to build liquidity. We've called it. It's going to build liquidity. Right? This is where buyers have been all session since we put in pivot. All the time it's holding that, it's building liquidity in here. If these become buyers that are stuck and it fails underneath, it will run those stops to come underneath IBL and into previous day low. But currently, I'm going to respect it. We also have a flattening of the flow zones, and we're trading in between higher time frame and lower time frame algo. So I know that the market today is lacking liquidity, so it's going to build it out. Image of me running around ripping my shirt open like crazy alpha. It's not like, honestly, that is a throwback to a guy whose room I used to be a mentor in, and I left after like a week because I fundamentally disagreed with how he traded. So there are many in here who were probably in that room back in the day. Yeah, tomorrow would be good. I mean, they might even do it after lunch. I don't know. But look at Tesla now, right down at 346. I mean, this is just being a little bit wild today. If Tesla starts letting go, you know, it's now down $10 from its highs, and it can trade back under 340 again if it wants to. It is up huge. I mean, it's up 33% since Trump got in, since Tuesday morning or whenever it was. I mean, that's 33%. Okay, is a huge amount for a stock worth that much money with the market cap that size. We're not talking about a penny stock up 33%. We're talking about one of the Mag 7. That is monstrous. Sloth, do I only trade above and below IB lows after a pullback? No. It depends on the day, right? So I'll try and give you an example. I wouldn't be trading into this short necessarily. Like if I felt like if we'd built this and there was a good reason to short, I'd take this short into the IBL. And if my draw on liquidity, God, stop drawing so much. If my, oh my God, wow. Right, if my draw on liquidity, if I had something like a huge imbalance down here or a previous day low down here or something, some reason that I thought the market was going to come here and we traded under IBL and got stuck here, I'd happily take that trade down for expansion. If we're just trading down here and there's not much reason for it to come lower, like there's this previous day low, I probably won't take this trade because I probably expect it to do that move. There's a lot of drawing on this now, so it looks messy. But yeah, I use the IB lows to understand, more than anything, to understand what type of day we're in. Yeah, when we're inside them, I know we're in a choppy day. Let's go back to last week. Again, we're inside them, building lots of chop. When we're outside them, we can have trend. Like this was a beautiful day, which is Thursday. So flag inside of IB, breakout, retest IB, long for expansion. And that was probably a 161 expansion, I would guess. IB high to IB low. Oh, measured move. All right, so measured move. 100%. That move there is the same size as that move there. Probably had the same all day, all week last week when we're talking about IBs. Again, there you go. Break. This was a harder day to take. Created huge liquidity and then built this ascending triangle and then above IB trend day. We also have the failed rotations as well. So I'm just using them for me. It matters on the structure into the levels and where I think the market's trying to go. I will trade inside the IB as well. Like I would take this long if I think if I thought this area was going to hold, if we were going to do a sweep here and turn back inside, right? If I think that these are liquidity pools that we're trading into and then we're going to support market with IB, I would also consider this long all the way back up, or at least to VWAP. All right, so TP1 with liquidity and TP2. But it always, you know, a lot of this comes down to some form of discretion in terms of what I think the market's trying to do on the day. Right now, I think the market's just trying to build liquidity. The big thing for me is ES right now. ES and SPY right now have not completely filled their gap and they're just getting stuck constantly. They can't, SPY can't get through 600, so I know that's a wall. VWAP is where they keep pushing into and selling it, which is into 99.50 now. And that full gap fill will take it down to 98.30s on the SPY. So I know that the SPY is struggling right now, which means everything outside, for me, the way I think about that is all the sectors outside of tech are also struggling. So you've probably got two big green stocks there. I reckon if you looked across the sector map, I haven't looked today, but you will see all the other sectors, probably like banks and stuff, either flat or red on the day. Energy, probably the same. So just probably had a sell on all sectors, not much rotation, and just sort of stagnant, waiting for data. You know, the market's going to wait for data. Imagine CPI comes out really cool. You know, I don't think that will happen, but imagine CPI comes out really cool, gives the market a chance to do a move back upside. Yeah, I'm probably done. Like, I'll sit here and have a chat for another 5-6 minutes, but I'll watch this into lunch and then see what happens. That God, why can't I talk today? That 250 seller is now at 240. I haven't checked DJT the last week. I saw that Stephen Ducks absolutely murdered it for $16 million last week. Played it long and short. That guy's still a beast. Absolute beast of a trader. $30-minute sell side imbalance. Let's check 30-minute. You talking about NQ, Glenn? I don't know. All I'd say is you're building a point of control here. We've just flipped point of control down. So all I'd say is all the volume now is basically at 98. The highest volume on the day now is traded here, not surprisingly. Resistance, resistance, support, 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 support. I don't know if it's going to trade much further down. All I see is this right now, and I know if they can get the squeeze, again, a lot of this depends on ES. When has the market had enough of the sell rotation? No, futures don't close early today. Normal session. It's normal session for everything other than bonds today, guys, all right? Normal session. Tons of stops down here at 94. Tons and tons of stops. I honestly, I don't know what this wants to do. Can it expand lower? Yeah. Can it go and hunt previous day low? Yeah. Can ES go and close the gap? Yeah. Can it just sweep here, hold the IB low and trade back inside? Yeah. So we're in range rotation day. Range rotation day is not my favorite days, as we all know. And when I've got the low hanging fruit trade, then I run out of, the ideas become less and less probable. Low hanging fruit trades, what you want to focus on each day. Once you know the market's hit a certain level and it's going to go and back test or forward test the next level, those are the easiest trades because you know the direction. It became very obvious once we'd filled the gap and once we came down here into higher time frame. Once we did this move here, it became very obvious to us that this would probably be the IB low and that we could probably come and back test where we failed from. Right, and VWAP. This has become the low-hanging fruit trade. Really easy trade compared to everything that's happened since. All right, maybe you could have taken this dip in here, but again, did it get a new high? No. So really, all you've got since we took that trade, everyone since, remember we couldn't break out 600 on ES, everyone since this time here, 10:45, basically till midday, is trapped in this range. So you've probably got dip buyers trying to get here, and you've got short sellers trying to get here. You've got breakout buyers trying to get here, and you've got shorts trying to force a rotation lower. This is liquidity building. We talked about it. It's going to build liquidity. It has to build liquidity for the next move. Remember, from a structural point of view, right, from a structural point of view, this is what we've done. These are lower highs and lower lows, but what is the low that created the high? This low, this high. This is liquidity building. This is internal range, right? Once we change character, broke out, these are where buyers came in. This is the sellers. Inside here, likely to be choppy. What about all that drama over the weekend with Fast Track, eh? Jeez, what a scumbag that guy is. Absolute scumbag. He did a runner, basically, the owner of Fast Track. So it's basically gone missing with about $20 million. Didn't pay his traders, didn't pay his affiliates, disappeared, and then they leaked the files. So someone inside managed to leak the files of who was involved and who he was screwing over. Said that he's going to try and pay some people back, but he won't. I think he paid $50,000 over the weekend, which is just people's fees, not what they were up. So I'm sure there's, well, I know there's people trying to put a class action together. Sad to see. Sad to see. So trading right at the point of control flipped. All right, on the hourly. It was up here on the session. Remember, we were talking about trading up to it. We flipped it now. So we know in the last 3 sessions, this is a very high volume area. So breakout continuation, failed breakout turn inside. Basically, Wyckoff theory will start happening in these areas. In terms of springs, I'm talking about Wyckoff. Big time battle. Big time battle. You can see it. Push, pull, push, pull, push, pull, push, pull. Yeah, very, very tight here. A 10-point range for so long. 20 minutes, 10-point range. Into lunch, new hourly bar here. Yeah, very tough to do. I'd be surprised if they get it done. Yeah, just inside, 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 inside. Fractal, isn't it? We're inside Thursday, Friday. We're inside initial balance. We're inside hourly candles. We're inside M15. We're inside M5s. Trap, 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 trap. That's what it wants to do. All right, team. That takes us up to lunch. So I'm done. We got a couple nice trades together today. I think that's pretty good going, given the action that we've had. Don't think there's been a whole lot here to take. I don't think there's been much here to take. I think we're going to have some really nice trades this week. I really do. Towards middle and back end of the week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I think we get some really nice follow through, some nice rotational moves. So if you got green today, well done. Those who took those trades with me, congratulations. Don't go giving it back on a day like this. All right, it's Monday. All right, just think about this in context. It's Monday after we've just voted in a new president, after the market was up a maximum of 1,340 points before New York's session opened. Please don't force yourself on today, okay? When we're trading inside, It's okay. Take a breather. You don't need to trade every day. You don't need to be green every day. Just relax. You've got the rest of the week and you've got your whole career to make money. Don't go forcing on days when we know the market wants to screw you over. It wants you to come and get involved, and it wants to eat your money like a little Pac-Man running around the screen, taking your money. It wants you frustrated. It wants you smashing the screen. It wants you hitting the sticks. Don't do it. Don't do it. Okay, just chill out. If an A+ setup turns up on the screens, of course, take it. Until then, just relax. And we'll be back tomorrow, 10 o'clock. I'll see you in there maybe just before 10. One thing I'm interested, how many of you would prefer it if I started streaming at the open? How many of you would prefer that? Or do you actually like that you get half an hour to breathe before I come on stream, just before I sign off? Because I do wonder about that. I like not focusing too much on the screens at the open. Oh, you'd all prefer it. God, I'm going to screw myself over there, aren't I? Stream all day long. All right, I'll consider it. I'll consider it. All it means is so early for me, guys. It's so early for me over here in California. But we'll have a think. Maybe we'll shift and pivot. Maybe we'll do it. All right, big love, team. Please be safe. See you tomorrow, normal time. Those in Discord, I'll post in later if I see something really juicy setting up. Just remember, watch the levels on ES today, please. All right, please, please, please. VIX has now closed its gap down to 15. We didn't really talk about that, but I just got an alert. So VIX has closed its gap. ES, VWAP will be key. SPY 600 will be key. All right, big love. Back soon. Peace out.